controversial and unknown topic, conspiracy theories are bound to crop up. However, just because these ideas do not align with what we are supposed to believe does not mean that they are inherently far-fetched or crazy. In fact, conspiracies often contribute to the acquisition of new knowledge and encourage people to think for themselves. The most persuasive and well-known instances of benevolent alien life are those that may sound exaggerated but truly are based in fact. For example, bringing crop circles into this debate may seem preposterous and overly conspiratorial. However, there is substantial evidence proving not only the existence of aliens, but that they have visited Earth. They have been consistently appearing since the first auspicious sighting in the 1970s, steadily getting larger and more complex, with some having dimensions hovering around 10 football fields in length and are incredibly accurate. Despite what it may seem, it is highly improbable that humans could ever form such designs in the span of one day or night. In fact, crop circles generally have several layers of grain that are laid in opposite directions or even braided together. Even stranger, grass and grain involved in crop circles exhibit signs of having been changed and expanded at the cellular level, and there is yet to be a replication of this process under controlled conditions. Finally, crop circles almost always have strong magnetic fields surrounding them, as well as fluctuating radioactivity levels. It is assumed that the origin of these circles is alien because crop circles are normally found in areas that concur with recent UFO sightings, and no one on Earth has been able to duplicate one. Furthermore, what is most intriguing about these formations is that they often demonstrate measurements which coincide with sacred geometry, movements in space, and molecules, which are all items sent with the spacecraft Voyager. With these kind of catalysts occurring across the globe, no government intervention does begin to seem suspicious. In short, conspiracy theories should be granted asylum from ridicule and be looked at with an open mind and questioning spirit, as everything is not always as it seems.
1 minute 44 seconds. Rebuttal.
Well, about crop circles is that they're we're going to talk about this more in our next point, but they're mostly just farmers making this. Like there's instances of people coming out after there's been this huge crop circle thing. They come out and said that we made this crop circle and we did this way. And also, if you say that aliens have visited us, then why are they so secretive about it? Because wouldn't this new people want to come talk or be more public about their visits? Because, I mean, wouldn't there be stuff to gain from visiting and talking?
Where's the sufficient evidence that says other life has visited Earth? And saying, oh, it's a fact that there is other life in the universe, even though it's not proven that there's other life all the way out in the universe, it's not a plausible fact then, because we have not proven it. So.
Okay, 1 minute. Point 3, Con.
If aliens really do exist, then what is the point of faking evidence? It is superfluous to fake something that is real, but people continue to do it anyways. Why? Crop circles are said to be left by aliens that apparently exist. There's no actual proof that aliens left those crop circles. Think about it. Who reports them? Farmers who live near nobody to back them up on what they report. Are there any witnesses? No. The only people who claim to have seen aliens put the crop circles there are the farmers. They don't have cameras put up, and if they do, they claim the aliens deleted the footage and they no longer have it. Also, neighbors are miles away. They also claim that the crop circles appear overnight, but again, there are no witnesses except the ones who report them. People love attention, and that's exactly why people fake crop circles. We should alleviate the topic of aliens existing because most evidence is false.
48 seconds. Rebuttal.
So, there's many things you didn't talk about. You were saying that farmers are faking it. However, there are so many examples of it happening and things that science can't explain about these crop circles, such as radioactivity that is seen around the crop circles. That's probably not caused by a farmer that's just trying to grow a few crops.
Okay. 18 seconds. Point 4, Pro.
Like my fellow presenters, I am here to prove that belief in extraterrestrial life is more than a frenetic grasp for meaning in the universe, but a sound and justified position. As we all know, life needs certain conditions to survive. This is commonly used as an argument against aliens. Statistically speaking, how small must the odds be for there to be a planet with such perfect conditions? It would have to be cool enough that the water did not evaporate, while remaining warm enough that the water didn't freeze, specifically between 0 and 100 degrees Celsius. The odds of such a planet forming and then maintaining these conditions long enough to sustain life would be infinitely small if it were not for two significant details. The first is that the universe is immeasurably, incomprehensibly large. In fact, the size is likely enough for dozens, if not more, planets to support intelligent life without any of them ever encountering each other. Second, we have a precedent, us. As source F says, life is statistically impossible, but it happened here on Earth. Earth is in what is commonly referred to as a Goldilocks zone, more properly known as a circumstellar habitable zone, or CHZ. This means that Earth is positioned perfectly near the sun so it is not too hot or too cold. In 2015, NASA discovered another planet with a sun-like star about the same size as Earth and about as far from its star as we are from the sun. In other words, the planet should be in a CHZ, allowing it to sustain the water necessary for all life as we know it. Does that mean for sure there is life on the planet? Not necessarily, but it does mean that it's a safe bet that the planet could sustain life. Let's put aside any gratuitous debate in favor of acceptance that we are most likely not alone in the universe.
1 minute, 50 seconds. Rebuttal?
So you stated that Earth can sustain life because it is in a Goldilocks zone, so water can form and stay liquid water and thus support life. However, there's a multitude of other reasons that Earth can support life, such as the moon, which stabilizes the Earth's axis, which then helps control the climate of the Earth. So even if there is a planet in another star's Goldilocks zone, that does not immediately mean there's going to be life on it, because even if it's in a Goldilocks zone, it could have wild climates, which would then make adaptation, evolution, and life in general impossible.
47 seconds. Point 4, Khan.
Have you ever thought about the unlikeliness that scientists on Earth will ever be able to find another planet that is able to sustain life? There are specific conditions that Earth has that not one scientist has found similar conditions on another planet. One of these conditions being the crust of the Earth and how it is able to maintain a hot metallic core and a rocky mantle. Another reason why the Earth is able to sustain life is the temperature, and how planetary temperatures allow substances to retain its liquid form in liquids. One of the most important reasons why humans are able to live on Earth are because of the moon and the stars. Our large moon ensures climate stability by limiting the tilt of the Earth on its axis. If the Earth was not on a slight tilt, there would be drastic seasonal changes, and no organism would be able to stay asylum on Earth. The sun, the most important star, provides Earth with the perfect amount of energy for life to be auspicious. In addition, the Earth's core consists of a solid inner core and a liquid outer core that play crucial roles in protecting life from deadly solar radiation, source B. Lastly, Earth has the perfect neighbors. One example being that Jupiter protects the Earth from receiving constant contact with meteors, and without this friendly neighbor, scientists predict that Earth would endure 10,000 times as many asteroids and comet strikings. According to Source C, recently 2 professors at the University of Washington, Peter Ward and Donald Brown Lee, co-authored a book called Rare Earth. They based some of their findings on a story of how life formed on our planet and how several things had to happen at specific times, and precisely so, in order for life to evolve over several billion years ago. One of these reasons being that the majority of the stars in the universe are smaller than our sun, requiring planets to have a substantially closer orbit to their sun to obtain necessary heat. Another key advantage they found was that having only one sun in our system provides a more stable orbit by the Earth around the sun, source C. If you take into consideration the factors that Earth has that other planets do not, what are the chances there is another planet that will be able to sustain life? With all the technological advances humans on Earth have today, if they have not found any aliens by now, then I say it's time to move on and accept their chances of existence is zilch.
Rebuttal?
So, astronomers have estimated that 100 billion habitable Earth-like planets are in the Milky Way. And going back to your last rebuttal, some people have said that the reason that we don't actually see them is because they don't want to come into public. And Source D, it says, I think it's because we're not being visited. So they don't want to come here to visit us, and they don't want to be seen.
Okay, that was 33 seconds. Point. Oops, let me turn this off.